ये जो नरेंद्र मोदी अभी भाषण दे रहा है, मैं आपको बता रहा हूं 6 महीने बाद, 7-8 महीने बाद ये घर से नहीं निकल पाएगा। हिंदुस्तान के युवा इसको ऐसा डंडा मारेंगे, इसको समझा देंगे।
सोनिया गांधी और राहुल गांधी के पीछे खड़ा हुआ है। अगर उनके बाल को भी जरा सा धक्का लगेगा तो इस देश के अंदर में अंगार लग जाएंगे। ये फालतू के काम करना बंद करो, नहीं तो नरेंद्र मोदी तेरा वही हाल होगा। जैसे की मौत होती है ऐसे नरेंद्र मोदी की मौत होगी।
अब इस परिवार के बारे में ऐसी गंदे बातें कहें, और वो भी जबकि अंबेडकर जी के याद में एक बहुत बड़ा इमारत यहाँ उसका उद्घाटन हो रहा है। मुझको लगता है कि ये आदमी बहुत नीच किस्म का आदमी है।
Good evening, viewers. Thank you very much for joining us here on Times Now. This is India Upfront and I'm Hina Gambhir. Viewers, let me sum up this collection of sound bites you just heard. If you can't beat him, vilify him, abuse him. If all that fails, malign every constitutional institution which does not help you defeat him. And if Lady Luck still doesn't smile on you, pray for his death. It seems when it comes to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the Congress's love for the letter and spirit of Indian Constitution, lectures on political grace and promise of Mohabbat ki dukaan all disappear. Viewers, tonight we let you be the judge. Is this politics? Is this dissent or unvarnished hate? Can politics abdicate civility and let it succumb to putrid gutters? We asked this tonight after what happened at a Congress party's rally against alleged vote chori in the national capital. Every Congress leader who addressed the gathering attacked Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the NDA government and the Election Commission. But then it degenerated. Chants and slogans against vote chori were replaced by unsavory outbursts. The Congress High Command, it seems, has managed to instill a deep sense of dislike, virtually a nafrat ki dukaan. Just ahead of Bihar polls during Rahul's Voter Adhikar Yatra, participants abused Prime Minister Modi and his late mother. This infuriated the BJP and its NDA allies. This time, the BJP took the battle to the parliament. The Rajya Sabha, specifically, Health Minister JP Nadda came out all guns blazing. Lok Sabha was briefly adjourned over the issue. And inside as well as outside the two houses, the BJP wanted Gandhi family trio of Sonia, Rahul and Priyanka to apologize. The Bharatiya Janata Party has accused the Congress party of indulging in hate politics and claimed the opposition script is being dictated by Rahul Gandhi. Listen in.
कल कांग्रेस के रैली में प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी का कब्र खोदने के लिए बात कहा गया है। ये इस देश के लिए बहुत दुखद समय है कि कांग्रेस पार्टी ऐसा शब्दों का इस्तेमाल करते हैं और सारे कांग्रेस पार्टी पूरे का पूरे नेतृत्व उस रैली में मौजूद थे और प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी का कब्र खोदने के लिए इन्होंने नारा लगाया। मैं चाहता हूं कांग्रेस के नेतृत्व माफी मांगना चाहिए, इस सदन के माध्यम से देश से माफी मांगना चाहिए।
And viewers, in a typical spit and run brand of politics, the Congress got busy distancing itself from the Modi ki kabr khudegi chant. At its rally, it is questioning the credentials of those who wish death upon the Prime Minister. However, one of the persons who made the comment has admitted she is a Congress office bearer in Rajasthan. But here's how the Congress netas reacted.
तो हम लोग आपस में बात कर रहे थे कि किसने कहा ये सब, हमें तो मालूम ही नहीं है। हमें मंच पे तो बिल्कुल ऐसा नहीं हुआ। फिर पता चला कि पब्लिक में किसी ने इंटरव्यू दिया, पब्लिक में कोई कह रहा है, कोई कार्यकर्ता है या कौन है, किसी को मालूम भी नहीं है कौन है, उनको खुद नहीं मालूम कौन है।
Such language is unpardonable and it's not a part of the Congress culture at all. Even if the BJP resorts to such language, in fact, the highest, topmost leader of the BJP, Narendra Modi, resorts to very obnoxious language we don't subscribe to this language or this culture.
Who are the people who have raised the slogans? Not the Congress party leaders. Somebody from the other section must have come in, and these people, what I presume, they must be the BJP supporters or the workers who have been sent there to disturb our rally.
And viewers, here lies some political irony. The Congress ranks abused the Prime Minister and his late mother. That didn't help the Congress. Remember, it won just 6 seats in Bihar. 18 odd years ago, the Maut ke Saudagar charge was hurled at the then Chief Minister Narendra Modi. The Congress has stayed out of power. Attacking, abusing and calling for bodily harm to Prime Minister Modi hasn't really helped the Congress. Instead, it has proved to be counterproductive. So we ask tonight, can the Congress escape the responsibility for creating a culture of political hate and vitriol? Is hate for Modi a deliberate diversion from the Congress's electoral losses? To discuss it, I'm joined on India Upfront this evening by Sanju Verma, National Spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Abhijit Iyer Mitra, Senior Fellow IPCS, Tehseen Poonawalla, who is a political analyst, Ravi Srivastava, who is a political analyst as well, and also joining us is Ghanshyam Tiwari, National Spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Good evening to all of you. Thank you very much for joining us on this debate this evening. Tehseen Poonawalla, I hope now you know who that lady was.
No, I don't, but I believe she was somebody from Rajasthan. I
She
don't
was a
know.
Congress leader from Rajasthan. You want
Yes,
me to play that soundbite again for you?
I think it was crass. I think it's not accepted. I'm the one who does not even, who was the first to tweet against Mani Shankar Iyer and his elite comments against the Honorable Prime Minister. I think this is not required. It's not accepted. We can obviously have our political differences. I have many of them with the BJP. But to wish that upon somebody is absolutely bad and unacceptable. And I do agree with what Srimati Priyanka Gandhi Vadra said. It wasn't said from the Congress stage. Now that they know who it is, I expect that Srimati Priyanka Gandhi Vadra's Congress, which is a dynamic organization, will take action.
Okay. So you're hopeful that there's going to be some action, but Mr. Ravi Srivastava, at least Tehseen Poonawalla, has accepted gracefully that it was crass, not acceptable. Will the leader of opposition in Lok Sabha and the leader of opposition in Rajya Sabha apologize for, the kind of slogans that were chanted against the Prime Minister? That's the demand of the BJP.
Good evening, Hina. First of all, the slogan is definitely derogatory and condemnable. And I univocally accept that Congress must give an apology for this. But at the same time, I am hearing a similar response from Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, who says that the Congress will be buried. So why? I mean, it's from both sides. If you have collected a lot of sound bites from the Congress side, you should collect the similar sound bites from the BJP side also. Oh, that 50 crore ki girlfriend, Congress ki vidwa and jersey cow and all that. Who said this?
You know, it's a very standard response, Mr. Ravi Srivastava, that I get in the debates quite often, wherein the justification is that BJP has been doing it. Does it give a license to the Congress party to repeat the same thing? I mean, is that what you're trying to say? Is that your argument?
In politics, it is not that a competition is there. It is every political party does it, and they do it absolute, with full immunity. When the Prime Minister does it, like the Prime Minister, why should he do it? He is the head of the nation. The Prime Minister, he started it. Why should he do it first? I mean, these are the ordinary Karyakarta from Rajasthan, as you said, some Manju Lata Meena or some Congress worker. And Priyanka Gandhi rightly said it, that in enthusiasm, in the euphoria of a rally, people do cross limits sometimes.
What did Mr. Narendra Modi do or say to earn, what was said about him when he was the Chief Minister of Gujarat, Maut ka Saudagar? You're saying that Prime Minister started it, others are following it. It's like a competition among political parties. So can you explain to our viewers, when he was called as Maut ka Saudagar, What did he say or do before that to earn that?
See, you go into chronology and find out the dates then when he said it or when he was named something.
Sir,
But
chronology
point
to
here
समझने
is
की
that
जरूरत
why
है
should it
ना.
happen?
You
He
are
should show
saying
the way
the
he
BJP does
has
it and hence the Congress party is doing it. So Sanju Verma, it's like one party does it, the other is also doing it. हुआ तो हुआ, किसी ने कह दिया तो कह दिया.
You know, what I find appalling is, the opposition panelists, including Mr. Ravi Srivastava, sitting here and drawing parallels between what was said by that Jaipur Congress Mahila Morcha president and what Prime Minister Modi may have or may not have said in the past. First and foremost, Prime Minister Modi is the head of the country. Second, Prime Minister Modi has never wished death upon anyone. Third, as they say, the apple does not fall far from the tree. This is not the first time it has happened. I remember in 2022, there was a senior Madhya Pradesh Congress leader, Hina, by the name of Rajesh Pateria, who said, ये देश तभी बच सकता है जब मोदी को मौत के घाट उतारा जाए. And when people rose in arms against him, the BJP कार्यकर्तास asked him for an apology, saying, ये कैसी भाषा का प्रयोग हो रहा है. He said, मैं नरेंद्र मोदी की मौत की बात नहीं कर रहा था, मैं ये कह रहा था कि नरेंद्र मोदी संविधान कुचल रहे हैं, इसलिए संविधान तभी जीवित रह सकता है यदि नरेंद्र मोदी को सत्ता से निकाला जाए. He tried to give a twist to his entire narrative, but I will just take your audience back to January 5th, 2022. Do you remember, Hina? Just 30 kilometers from the Indo-Pak border, near the Bhatinda flyover, Prime Minister's security detail was compromised. And what did Charanjit Singh Channi, who was then the Chief Minister of Punjab, say? He said, हुआ तो हुआ, मोदी जी को कुछ हुआ तो नहीं ना. यदि कुछ लोगों ने झंडे उठा लिए, मोदी के खिलाफ नारे लगा लिए, तो इसमें कौन सी बड़ी बात हो गई? हुआ तो हुआ. And my final point is this. I will end by just saying Rahul Gandhi is the root cause of the problem. Barely a few months back he had said, ये मोदी जब हार जाएगा ना 2024 का चुनाव, ये जो देश की युवा जनता है रोड पर उतर कर मोदी की पिटाई करेगा. This was the phrase used by Rahul Gandhi. प्रियंका वाड्रा ने तभी कहा, भाई ने बस कह दिया ना, हुआ तो हुआ.
Okay.
The Congress is a shameless lot.
Okay. Ghanshyam Tiwari, what is the view of the Samajwadi Party on these kind of chants, on wishing death on the Prime Minister? Do you think Congress is deliberately creating a culture of political hate and vitriol? Because it's all flowing from the top.
Good evening here to you, the viewers and the fellow co-panelists. There are three important things. First and foremost, the flowing from the top. So I quote the report that was published by all major platforms, including Times of India, on the hate speech in India. And the report says, and I quote verbatim, the four men who delivered the most hate speeches, 247 or a fifth of the total, this is 2024, were among India's leading political functionaries. Topping the list was Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, followed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Union Home Minister Amit Shah, and so on. This is what is globally available for anybody to research. To talk about what is flowing from the top, we just have to do a Google. The hate in India is flowing from the top, right from the Prime Minister himself to Amit Shah, as named by a global report.
Okay.
That's point number one. Point number two, that India has had the tragedy of losing two of their prime ministers to terrorist activities. We've also lost a prime minister who was in Tashkent. So we know that this kind of loss. But never ever have I seen Congress party or opposition being a party of rondus. It is only BJP that will keep crying and crying and crying. A party that tops hate speech continues to cry and cry. And final point, kabr khudegi. There are crores.
Okay. I think there's some problem with the connection out there. We'll try. Yes.
Air pollution is the result of the काम चोरी of this government.
No, air pollution is our debate number 2 or India Upfront. So we will be discussing that, and you are a guest on that debate as well. Hold your arguments on that aspect. Let me go across to Abhijit Iyer Mitra as well. Abhijit Iyer Mitra, you know, the broad understanding I got from those in the opposition today or those supporting the Congress is that BJP also does it. So what's wrong if Congress is doing it? I mean, where are we headed? Is this politics? Is this dissent? Or, you know, unvarnished hate?
Look, nasty jibes, abuses are a part of politics in every country. There's nothing new. The issue is that particular remark by the Rajasthan lady crossed a certain line. Saying basically that we're going to kill you is not very nice. Now, where does this come about from? You see, it's the bitterness of the reality of being out of power for the next 15 years. They thought, 2014 was a black swan event. They'll come back in 2019 somehow, Mili Juli Sarkar and all of that. And this is a gentleman who goes abroad and talks about the concept of shunyata, about introspection, about meditation, etc., etc. The one person who is completely lacking in introspection seems to be Mr. Rahul Gandhi. He surrounded himself by completely unelectable jokers, some dating app president, some data analyst of dubious origin, etc., etc., who never managed to win him an election. And so he finds fault in everybody else except himself. Now, when you wallow in that kind of, externalization and defeat after defeat after defeat, you turn bitter. This is the oldest story in history. It's like the villager who rocks up in the city and loses his only blanket, and he claims the entire city was built for the objective of stealing his blanket. What do you do? This is not going to get sorted out. This is in fact going to get worse, because you see the people who keep getting promoted within the Congress IT cell and Congress ecosystem, right. The people who Rahul Gandhi himself quote tweets, they are not the sane old Congress that we all loved. They're all the rabid, vicious new Congress who can't win. You forget a municipal corporation seat. They can't even win a RWA election.
Is that the case?
So what do you do? It's losers leading losers.
Is this hate for Modi a deliberate diversion from Congress's electoral losses under Rahul Gandhi so that nobody questions him?
No, I don't think it's a deliberate diversion from, and I don't think that order comes from the top, particularly from the Gandhis. But I do believe...
It might not be coming from the top, but the people at the top are also saying exactly the same thing. You heard what Rahul Gandhi had said in the past. ये घर से निकल नहीं पाएगा, डंडे मारेंगे लोग. I mean, is this the language we use for the Prime Minister of this country? You may have hatred for the Bharatiya Janata Party, for the leaders of the BJP, but he's also the Prime Minister of the country.
One, we should have hatred for nobody. We are all Indians, and we should have hatred for nobody. And I do agree that he's our Prime Minister, and we must disagree in a civil, polite, democratic manner. And I don't think we should indulge in whataboutery on this was what was said in the past about Mrs. Gandhi and Rahul Ji, and therefore it is justified today. There is no justification on wishing death of somebody. Having said that, my advice to the Congress party is simply this. That look, you had a good vote chori event yesterday or rally yesterday, which was very well organized and turned out. The focus shifted away when these things come into fore. And you know that these things have happened. It happened in Bihar also, where somebody went on stage and abused the Prime Minister's late mother. And then the Congress has been guilty a couple of times getting these AI-generated videos or comparing Bihar to GD, which one of the social media users did. When you do it, your good work gets overshadowed because that's just the nature of how politics is. And I mean, it is right. So use your common sense. It happened once, it happened twice. It happened from the time Mr. Manish Shankar Iyer was arrogant.
Why do you think the Congress party is not able to learn its lessons? It has been going on and on and on. Even after seeing what happened in Bihar, the party hasn't learned any lessons. I mean, the least the leadership could do after this particular incident, after they got to know that that woman was actually a Congress neta from Rajasthan, they could have said that we do not, we condemn this kind of a statement for the Prime Minister. Nobody from the Congress has done that also, Tehseen. You've been graceful.
No, the Congress has. No, to be fair, the Congress has.
No, have you heard what Priyanka Gandhi Vadra said? Have you heard what Pawan Kheda said? We played those sound bites.
Pawan said that it's not acceptable. He sent a tweet also of his bite. So he said it's not acceptable. I've read it.
So,
I saw his tweet.
So then they should take action if this is not acceptable. Because see, I'll tell you what. These kind of comments in the past have backfired for the Congress party.
True.
So,
I agree.
definitely it can't be a strategy. I mean, we don't know if it is actually a part of strategy to take the attention away from the real issues. I don't know. It looks like a faux pas, but it is costing the Congress party. And what is the Congress party doing about it? Nothing. Nothing at all.
So Hina, there's a lot of things you've put in mix. So let me just get it quickly. You're right. It's not benefiting the Congress party. If they had that common sense, in 2014, during the Congress Adhiveshan, when Manish Shankar Iyer, in an elite, arrogant manner, said what he did, they would have taken action in 2014 on Manish Shankar Iyer and saved themselves from Manish Shankar Iyer's rioting in 2017. That, in a way, cost them the Gujarat elections. So, no, they clearly haven't run, and that happens, and they are arrogant about it. Having said that, what I can tell you about the Gandhis, knowing them extremely personally, closely, especially Priyanka ji, she's not the kind to abuse. Now, she doesn't have any power in her hand. I do hope the Congress organization takes action, because I know that if Ahmed Patel would have been there, he would have taken action.
So, is it that the current leadership of the Congress party, or the so-called High Command, Abhijit Iyer Mitra, that is allowing it all to happen?
100%. Hina, because do you remember I don't know, because our panelists are so young and I'm an old man. I don't know if you remember in 2000 at Satish Gujral, the brother of the former Prime Minister's party, Amar Singh, who was a very close confidant of Shri Mulayam Singh ji, punched Manish Shankar Iyer in the face several times, knocked him to the ground for some extremely nasty remarks that Manish Shankar Iyer had made as to the paternity and maternity of Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav. And what happened to Manish Shankar Iyer after that? When the UPA comes to power in 2004, he gets made all kinds of ministers. Remember when he made the Neech Aadmi and Chaiwala remarks against the Prime Minister? He went on getting promoted and recognized by Rahul within the Congress. So you see, this is, the Congress does this to everybody. They are, to be fair to them. They are not bigots, they are equal opportunity offenders, and they are equal opportunity promoters of all kinds of abuse. So congratulations.
It's a well thought out strategy. Ravi Srivastava wants to come in, then Sanju Verma.
Hina, first thing is that whenever we talk about such nasty comments, or we talk about some organizational deficiencies of Congress, we immediately start comparing it with the electoral defeat. This is because Congress is losing. This is because Congress is not getting the votes. Somebody will tell me that how many, what percentage of votes Congress gets in the country? 19%. Entire opposition gets 52% of the votes, which is against the BJP. So what is this electoral defeat or
Gujarat
electoral losses?
You remember that Gujarat election when that Neech Kism Ka Aadmi comment was made? You remember that time? Everybody thought that the Congress party is going to win Gujarat at that point in time. And then that comment comes and everything changes, and you're saying that it is wrong to connect these comments with the electoral defeat of the Grand Old Party. Which world are you living in, Mr. Ravi Srivastava?
Absolutely. People do not vote for these slogans. People make up their mind 2 months before that whom they are going to vote. This is not for these slogans that people change their mind.
Okay.
These are policies, these are decisions, these are governance, this is a...
so these slogans actually have no impact. I'll get Ghanshyam Tiwari to react to that, but before that, Sanju Verma. Slogans have got no connection with what the people of the country think when they go and vote.
You know, I just want to tell Ravi Srivastava one thing, that in the last 3 Lok Sabha elections combined, the Congress won 195 seats, the BJP got 825 seats, and after Lok Sabha 2024, elections were held in 6 states, out of which the BJP won 4 states. Omar Abdullah's party won 1 state, and the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha won 1 state. The Congress won 0 out of 6 states. So yahan baitkar electoral defeat or electoral victory par, it is the opposition that needs to do introspection. Don't lecture the BJP. We do enough of introspection. Whether it is is a municipal election or a Lok Sabha. We don't need your lectures. But I want to respond to Ghanshyam. He said, globally, people have said, Modi is like this, Modi is like that. X has happened in India in democracy after Modi took over. Ghanshyam Tiwari, despite being supposedly erudite, will never say that the World Bank says thanks to Modi economics, India is the fastest growing economy. Ghanshyam will believe now shut down Hindenburg, but he will not believe JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs or Morgan Stanley, who have hailed banking reforms under Prime Minister Modi. So Ghanshyam has a very selective amnesia. But I want to focus on the moot point. I want to tell your viewers that there is another very, very sorry incident. On 31st December 2017 and 1st January 2018, there was an Elgar Parishad event held in Pune, in Maharashtra. And the entire left ecosystem started saying that, our ecosystem is being targeted. But a conspiracy was hatched and many of these accused are still out on bail.
Right.
The names are Rana Wilson, Varavara Rao, Sudha Bhardwaj, the now dead Stan Swami, Arun Ferreira, Gautam Navlakha, Sudhir Dhawale, Vernon Gonzalez. I remember people saying, why is the BJP saying that Gautam Navlakha is accused? He's been a reputed journalist. Why is the BJP accusing Shoma Sen? She's an English professor. So this is how they normalize hatred against Prime Minister Modi.
Ghanshyam Tiwari, Tehseen and then Ravi Srivastava.
Well, first and foremost, I repeat what I said. Anybody in India or across the world can do a basic Google of hate speech events in India 2024 report. And if reports like this, globally published, say that 247 hate speeches came from...
You're repeating yourself. You've told us about this data that you are quoting, again for our viewers. But I want to ask you a direct question now. What do you make of what this Congress leader said about Prime Minister Narendra Modi? Is this hate speech for you or no? Do you condemn it, yes or no? Should the leadership of the Congress party apologize for it, yes or no? Ghanshyam Tiwari.
I condemn it. Anybody with a sane mind will condemn it. Without any condition. As far as for leadership to apologize, in the parliament, members of parliament from more than 20 parties accused the election commission of being...
I'm not going into what happens in parliament. A lot happens in parliament. Parliamentarians are equated with dogs also by very senior members of parliament. But I have asked you a direct question. Let's stick to what we are discussing today. If you're condemning the statement by this Congress leader from Rajasthan, do you think the leadership should apologize? Yes or no?
If Congress is made to apologize on such this thing, top leadership, by this logic, Mr. Modi would have resigned 10 times by now. Look at the series of hate speeches that they have done.
Abhijit, no direct answers there. Every time you ask them about what has happened in the Congress party, what is it that Congress netas are doing, go check what's happening with the BJP, go check what's happening with the Prime Minister. But that party is not losing elections. I was just looking at the data. 23.59 crore people voted for BJP in 2024, which is 69 lakh more than what the BJP got in 2019. Is this how the opposition wants to woo these voters? By wishing deaths for the Prime Minister?
See, they don't get it. There is no correction mechanism. There is no self-correction mechanism in these dynastic parties at all. The ruler is always right. There is no new blood that is brought in. It is always, if you are brought in, your only talent really is chaplacy, not groundwork, etc., etc. What are you going to do, Hina? May I remind you, since the gentleman is quoting some hate speech report, there was a newspaper in Delhi that ran something called a hate tracker. And a gentleman called Anand Ranganathan used to take every one of their reports and give you 5 counter reports. We all know how these reports are made. Please give me a break. It takes a particularly a person with extraordinarily low self-esteem and self-confidence to hold up foreign reports on India as gospel truth and have no respect for your own country. But this is something we have seen. You look at Rahul Gandhi himself. He wears a suit for some BA pass Chichora students in Cambridge, but he'll only wear a t-shirt and chappals for even the security forces who died protecting his mother in the parliament attacks. This is a standard practice. We have seen this all over. across parties. There's nothing you can do about it. What do we do?
Okay. Ghanshyam Tiwari quickly wants to respond. Then Tehseen Poonawalla. Yes,
I mean,
Ghanshyam Tiwari.
to respond in the same way, it takes a hate speaker to appreciate other hate speakers and dismiss such reports. And one can Google that. As far as the reports are concerned, the reports pointedly speak about the specific words, sentences used by the Prime Minister, used by Amit Shah,
I will just request
Yogi Adityanath.
that, let's be civil. Let's not have personal attacks on each other. And Tehseen Poonawalla. Yes.
Just one thing. We may keep saying the BJP does, right? And that's an easy defense. But the BJP is winning. We aren't. I know Ravi Srivastava from his days in Aam Aadmi Party. Now he's supporting Congress. My grandfather, paternal grandfather, took a bullet for Congress and for this nation's independence, right? And we are not winning. So rather than justifying everything the BJP does and wanting to be a cheap copy of the BJP, because if you're going to be a cheap copy, the BJP, they already have the original, right? Can we be what Congress was? Can we be what Congress is and not do this? And then it is upon the leadership to come down and tell them, stop doing this. Because the program yesterday in Delhi was magnificent. But look at what we're discussing. Ina would have ideally liked to discuss vote chori and the nuances Abhijit and Sanju bring in versus me. But instead of this intellectual debate, we're debating something what Karyakartas have said, and it's causing a problem.
But
and
these are not random Karyakartas. That Karyakarta actually belongs to the Congress party. She holds a position in the Congress party, and she is also brazenly justifying it by saying that this reflects the anger among people. That is the reason why it is being discussed, because it's become a pattern now. Anyways, I'm completely out of time on this debate, but thank you very much, all of you, for joining us on this debate number 1.